March 2007, a quiet apartment in Chiba, Japan. Police make a chilling discovery, a young woman's body buried in a bathtub, covered with dirt and flower seeds. Her killer? A guy who would mutilate his own face to dodge justice, sparking one of Japan's biggest manhunts ever. Welcome to Buried, where we uncover the darkest true crime stories. Today we're diving into the twisted case of Tatsuya Ichihashi and Lindsay Hawker. Grab a coffee, get comfy, and let's unravel this haunting story. Lindsay Ann Hawker was a 22-year-old from Coventry, England. Smart, kind, and full of life, she graduated with top honors in biology from the University of Leeds. In 2006, craving adventure before grad school, she jetted off to Tokyo to teach English at Nova, Japan's biggest private language school. Tokyo's a wild mix of bright lights, ancient temples, and endless energy. Lindsay settled in Chiba, a chill suburb just east of the city, rooming with two other teachers. She was loving her new life, but a random encounter was about to turn everything upside down. Lindsay grew up in Coventry, a city in England's heartland, known for its old cathedral and World War II history. Born December 30th, 1984, to Bill and Julia Hawker, she had two sisters, Louise and Lisa. She was a star student and super popular, with big dreams of a career in science. But before diving into her master's, she wanted to see the world. So, in October 2006, she signed up with Nova and landed in Tokyo. Chiba was her home base, cheaper rent, close to Tokyo's hotspots like Akihabara and Asakusa. She dove into the culture, hitting up food stalls, temples, and bars, while staying tight with her family and boyfriend back home through Skype and texts. Enter Tatsuya Ichihashi, a 28-year-old from Ichikawa, Chiba. Born into a well-off family, dad was a doctor, mom a dentist, he had a cushy life. He graduated from Chiba University with a horticulture degree, but had zero interest in working. Instead, he lived off a $900 a month allowance from his parents. Tatsuya was a loner, obsessed with fitness, biking 25 miles a day and hitting the gym hard. But there was a darker side. He'd been accused of assault and theft before, though his dad paid off the victim to avoid court. Reclusive, rebellious, and with no job, Tatsuya was trouble waiting to happen, and Lindsay was about to cross his path. March 2007, 6 months into Lindsay's Tokyo adventure. She's done teaching for the day and heads to Chiba Station to grab her bike. Out of nowhere, a guy walks up behind her. "You're my English teacher," he says. Lindsay's confused. She knows he's not in her class. She brushes him off, but the guy, Tatsuya Ichihashi, keeps tailing her. She hops on her bike, pedaling faster through Chiba's maze of streets. Tatsuya's walking turns to jogging, then running, keeping up with her. No matter how fast she goes, he's right there. Finally, she stops at her apartment. Out of breath, Tatsuya makes her an offer. Private English lessons at a cafe with good pay. Lindsay says no, her schedule's packed, and she wants her free time for fun. Then he pulls a weird move. Thirsty from the chase, he asks for a glass of water. Lindsay hesitates but lets him into her apartment, where her roommates are home. It's a chance to show this guy she's not alone, and for them to see his face. Inside, Tatsuya ups the ante, $32 an hour for lessons. That's hard to turn down. Lindsay agrees to meet him at a coffee shop in a few days. Before leaving, he scribbles a sketch of her, adding his name and number, a creepy keepsake. Fast forward to Saturday, March 24th, 2007. They meet at a local cafe, caught on CCTV. Lindsay's cautious, stepping back when Tatsuya gets too close. They talk for about an hour, and it goes okay. But when it's time to pay, Tatsuya says he forgot his wallet. "My place is just half a mile away," he says. "Come grab the cash, and you're good to go." Lindsay agrees, and they take a taxi to his apartment. She asks the driver to wait, thinking it'll be quick. Minutes pass, and she doesn't come back. The driver figures she changed plans and leaves. That afternoon, Lindsay misses work. By night, her roommates are worried. She's not answering calls. They report her missing to the police. By Monday, March 26th, panic sets in. Lindsay's missed 2 days of work, and her school calls her parents in England. The police finally take it seriously and talk to her roommates, who point to Tatsuya's sketch as a lead. That evening, 2 cops show up at Tatsuya's apartment in Chiba. No answer at the door, but neighbors let them peek into his place from their balcony. It's dark, but they spot someone moving inside, and, weirdly, a detachable bathtub on the balcony, filled with dirt. Smelling trouble, they call for backup. 3 hours later, 9 officers are ready to storm the place. Suddenly, Tatsuya bolts out with a backpack, shoving past the cops. They grab his bag but lose him in the building's tight hallways. No radios, no chance. He's gone, vanishing into Tokyo's night. Inside his apartment, the cops find a nightmare. In that balcony bathtub, buried in dirt and sand, is Lindsay's body. Her right hand sticks out, bound with plastic ties and scarves. Bruises cover her upper body, showing a brutal attack. The tub's got a decomposing agent and flower seeds, like Tatsuya was trying to pass it off as a garden. Even creepier? Lindsay's hair was shaved off, and wigs were found in the apartment, sparking wild rumors. Tatsuya Ichihashi is now the most wanted man in Japan. His face is everywhere, on posters, on TV, and in the news. Police search for him, but he keeps escaping. Investigators say Lindsay was attacked, and her belongings were found scattered in the apartment. Chemicals were discovered, suggesting he tried to hide the truth. And the wigs? They leave people asking, what was he really planning? Lindsay's family in England is shattered. They're also furious, calling out the Japanese police for using a 7-year-old photo on wanted posters and letting Tatsuya slip through 9 officers' hands. Her parents, Bill and Julia, fly to Japan, handing out flyers and even meeting with the Yakuza, Japan's mafia, for help. Tensions flare between British and Japanese media, both questioning the investigation's screw-ups. Police dig into Tatsuya's past, a settled assault case, his loner vibes, and no job despite his degree. They release photoshopped images of him in wigs, thinking he might be cross-dressing to hide. But weeks turn into months, then years. Tatsuya's gone, and Lindsay's family is left with no answers. How does one guy stay hidden so long? Some thought he was blending into Tokyo's crowds. Others figured he'd skipped the country, or was hiding on a remote island. There was even talk the Yakuza might be protecting him. Then came the wildest twist. By 2009, police learned Tatsuya was changing his face, literally. He'd cut off his own moles, sliced his lower lip with scissors, and sewed his nose to reshape it. Living in internet cafes and working construction in Osaka, he saved up for plastic surgery to dodge the law. Was this guy just desperate, or was he always this cunning? October 2009 brings a break. A plastic surgeon in Nagoya tells police he worked on a guy who looked like Tatsuya, even sharing before and after photos. A coworker in Osaka spots him too, forcing Tatsuya to run again. On November 10, 2009, he heads to Osaka's ferry port, aiming to hide in an Okinawa bunker. But a port worker recognizes him and calls security. Police finally catch up to Tatsuya. He admits, "Yes, I am Tatsuya Ichihashi." After more than 2 years on the run, it's over. At first, he is arrested for leaving behind a body. Later, the charges grow heavier, for assault and murder. The trial begins on July 4th to 11, in Tokyo. Tatsuya admits he invited Lindsay to his apartment, then attacked her and ended her life to keep her from speaking out. Prosecutors call him a calculated offender, while the defense argues he had no prior record and could change. In court, Lindsay's family faces heartbreaking images from the crime scene, pictures they wish they had never seen. On July 21st, 2011, Tatsuya Ichihashi gets life in prison. The court skips the death penalty, saying his clean record and age, 32, mean he might reform someday. Lindsay's family wanted harsher punishment, but felt some relief knowing he's locked up. Bill and Julia spoke to the press. "We've waited 4.5 years for justice. Lindsay loved Japan, and you didn't let her down." The verdict closed a chapter for a nation gripped by the case, but Lindsay's loss still stings. Lindsay Hawker's murder changed lives forever. Her family set up a trust in her name to help young travelers stay safe and chase their dreams. The case exposed gaps in Japan's police system, pushing for better handling of missing persons cases. Tatsuya is still behind bars, a reminder of the life he stole. This story hit hard, uniting 2 countries in shock and grief. It makes you think about trust, safety, and what justice really means. Lindsay's light was snuffed out too soon, but her memory lives on. What do you think? Did Tatsuya deserve life, or should he have faced the death penalty? Drop your thoughts in the comments, stay safe out there, and we'll catch you in the next one on Buried.